The Hokies are back on the hunt for the Women's College World Series, a feat that has eluded them since 2008. But they're on the right track with 25 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie. After an unfortunate exit to number 14 Georgia in the 2023 NCAA Regional, Virginia Tech is back and quickly climbing up the rankings. The preseason number 23 team in the nation has clawed all the way up the ladder to number 11 in the latest ESPN poll, thanks to a program record 25-0 dismantling of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore and a 2-game series split with number 14 Alabama. While last Friday's game didn't follow Tech's usual game plan of battering balls out of the park, falling 0-1, they got right back on track for Game 2, smashing a pair of homers thanks to Radford transfer Corey McMillan and freshman Michelle Chatfield. Meanwhile, Tech's Cameron Fagan was busy earning a nod as the D1 Softball Player of the Week for her performance over the last 5 games. The senior at second was 12 for 18 at the plate with 2 homers, 2 doubles, and 9 RBIs on the week. The Hokies are in Durham this weekend to face off with Duke. Game 1 concluded in favor of the Blue Devils, who put up 8 runs in the first 2 innings on their way to a 14-5 mercy rule. But I've got some advice for the 5th-ranked Blue Devils tonight. Consider taking a step or 2 back. With 69 home runs this season and the series on the line, you'd better believe Virginia Tech is swinging for the fences. Guys?
The Virginia Tech Hokies took down the Rhode Island Rams today 7-2, and wow, the Hokies bats were on fire. 4 home runs for the team, 5 doubles, and a triple. They really had the bats going across the lineup, and that's what truly led them to this win today. The whole series, they've been smacking the snot out of it. But for the Rams, they've struggled a little bit on the hitting side. They left 9 runners on the base today, struck out 12 times. They just couldn't quite get the bats going after the first 3 innings, which ultimately led to their demise.
Yeah, it was incredible coming off of last night where they did have some defensive slip-ups, but tonight they kept the puck almost exclusively in the offensive zone. Fayetteville didn't even have a shot on the goal until nearly 8 minutes into the period. Roanoke has done a great job controlling the puck, keeping it out of the defensive zone, and putting pressure on Fayetteville's goalie.
Yeah, and you talk about Austin Rodebush. A lot of pressure on Fayetteville throughout that first period.
Yeah, I mean, those guys have been awesome. That lineup really getting it done with Mateo DiGiulio's goal really early on, just 41 seconds into this game. He's been in the right spots. Just 4 games with the Dogs so far. He's already had 2 goals with them. His first pro goal last night and then 1 tonight to start the game off. He's getting in the right spots. He's putting pressure on the goalies, and you just love to see it for a guy that Roanoke's added recently.
Yeah, getting in those greasy areas. Another dangerous spot.
Yeah, great job from that starting line once again. DiGiulio is looking fantastic in a Dogs uniform, dishing that out, then getting inside for the advantage. It's almost like the camo jerseys are working on ice because the first minute of the period, DiGiulio is just always there, and they don't even see him coming.
Yeah, Roanoke's had those hot starts. Roanoke kind of came back over the top there at the end. What do you think was the difference?
I think this is a spot where the Dogs do excel a little bit. They're very comfortable as a team because this core has been together for so long. I think they're in a great position to handle a chippy game like this, and they've been under pressure plenty in the 3rd period, and we know that the Dogs perform fantastic with their back against the wall and in overtime. So with the Dogs having a more consistent team and a team that's been together and they've been through these chippy opportunities in these games like this, I think they're in a good position to hold out this one and come out on top. Virginia Tech women's basketball has had a successful start to the season after reaching the Final Four last year in Dallas, Texas. With a group of highly rated freshmen and talented transfers, they're poised to make another run this year come March. Virginia Tech women's basketball, fresh off an ACC championship and Final Four run, is ready for another great season. At 7-2, the 15th ranked Hokies are off to a solid start. Led by veteran players Georgia Amore, Kayla King, and Liz Kitley, the Hokies are the third ACC team in the AP poll. The squad has added a few new transfers to the mix in hopes of replacing some lost production. After losing Kiana Traylor and Taylor Soule to the WNBA, rebuilding the roster around the star trio has been a big emphasis.
We still need some production from certain areas in order for us to be good. You know, sometimes if we don't get that production in other ways, it kind of forces Liz or George's hand, and they try to do a little bit too much. So therefore, we just haven't really gotten into a groove.
Head coach Kenny Brooks brought in Rose Mishaw from Minnesota and Matilda Eck from Michigan State. The two averaged nearly 14 points and 9 rebounds per game combined. While the two transfers boost the starting lineup, Virginia Tech still has its faults.
The team has recently tanked 6 spots in the AP poll, from 9th to 15th after a loss to the 7th-ranked LSU Tigers. Despite the Final Four rematch not going in favor of the Hokies, Coach Brooks knows that this team is capable of so much more.
We made strides in trying to be who we want to be. We're getting some positive production from some of the younger players. All the while, they're getting really good, valuable minutes with the veterans.
I think we're just figuring out each other still. Like, we have 3 returners, 9 new people. We're trying to figure out lineups, who plays well together, and figuring out each other, what everyone likes. That takes time, so I think that's what we're doing right now, and I like to see where it's going.
3 other freshmen have made a splash off the bench. Clara Strack is like a young Liz Kitley on the floor. The 6'5" center from Buffalo had a breakout performance in just the 3rd game of the year.
Clara Strack did a really good job just understanding that we know her potential and what she's going to be able to do for us. So I thought she gave us some very positive minutes from both the forward spot and the center spot.
Connecticut native Karis Baker has recently asserted herself as a top option for the second unit. Facing off with Long Island U, Baker knocked in 4 threes in her best game to date.
Karis shoots the ball as well as anybody on our team, and one of the things that we've been really locking in with her is to just understand the little intricacies of the defensive end.
Redshirt freshman Carly Wenzel's talents on both ends of the court make her a valuable asset to the team. A top 10 recruit at the guard position, she's been tasked with guarding some of Tech's most daunting foes.
We're learning and winning at the same time, and I think that's really important. But I think, we've stressed it. I think in LSU we did not get out in transition. We did not push at all. We didn't play with that aggression. I think these past 2 games we've had a focus of that, and clearly we've done pretty well.
The Hokies have 2 more games against Rutgers and William & Mary before conference play starts. The pressure is on for Coach Brooks to get the new players settled in over the coming weeks. Reporting from Virginia Tech, I'm Kyle Beene.
Moving over to the NBA, the Boston Celtics defeated the Chicago Bulls last night to improve to 57-14 this season, clinching the top playoff seed in the NBA's Eastern Conference. This marks 9 straight wins for the Celtics, despite All-Star Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis sitting for injury. Jason Tatum, who's currently 5th in the Kia MVP ladder, put up 26 points, while Sam Hauser drained 7 3-pointers. 7 of the Bulls players scored in double figures, including DeMar DeRozan with 28. Chicago's Dalen Terry was able to land a massive 2-handed slam over Derek White, but ultimately, Boston had too much firepower, winning the close game 124-113 in the United Center.
Hokies trying to get something going here with Garrick Ebel stepping into the box, a catcher. He's batting .400 this year. A senior, played in 3 games this season so far, recording 5 at-bats, 2 runs, and 2 hits. Ebel caught last year as well. He was really solid for Tech, as he'll take the first pitch for a strike on the outside corner of the plate for the righty. Shue versus Ebel. As Brandon Shue gets set, wheels and deals. Ebel's going to fire this one deep into left field. As the left fielder watches it go over the wall, it hits the roof of the practice facility there in left field as Ebel sends it home.
Abel hustling around the bases. He'll walk in home as the Hokies get ready to bring out the sledgehammer. The toss, the swing. Abel slams it home for run number 2 for Virginia Tech. An electrifying home run for Garrick Abel, his second on the season, as the Hokies take the 2-0 lead. The 2-run homer for Tech as Clay Grady, the 9-hole hitter playing short today, steps into the righty box. He'll face off with Shu, squares to bunt, pulls back. The ump, John Mang, going to call that one a ball on the outside. Grady awaiting the pitch from Shu, gets set on the rubber, steps, fires. This one will find the outside corner for a strike. 1-2 count for Clay Grady. Hokies with 1 run in the first, 1 run so far in the second. 1-2 count and 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning. Clay Grady, number 9, up to bat. Awaits the pitch from Shu. He'll watch it go by on the outside for ball 2. 2's across the board for Clay Grady. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runs for Tech. As he awaits pitch number 5, he's going to swing, fire this one into right center field. Center fielder can't get to it. McKenzie. And Grady's going to hustle his way into third. Slides head first onto the bag, safe as the throw was a bit short. He's going to call time, get stood up, and retrieve his helmet from the base pad. Clay Grady with an electric triple to right center field. Hokies making quite the run here with 2 down in the second inning, as leadoff batter Christian Martin steps up to the plate once again. Martin was really solid yesterday. He's been solid for Tech all year. Batted .345 last year on the season. The best out of the returning Tech players. Recorded 174 at-bats last season. Scored 39 runs. Had 60 hits. Martin's been electric as he sends this one towering into left field. Left fielder Hindle can't quite get to it. As Grady jogs his way home, Martin's going to hustle over to second. 2 runs with 2 outs here for Tech in the bottom of the second inning.